Thank you, Energy Committee.
Okay.
You just ran out of energy, that's all.
That's what multitasking does for me, Larry.
No, you're doing
Not
good.
too bad, not too bad.
You're doing a very good job. So she seconded it, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, they're appointed. Motion to appoint Marion Scott to the Nealman Scholarship Fund for a one-year term.
Okay, so I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, okay. Motion to, we're getting there now. Motion to appoint Janet Sinclair, Chris Scully, and Phoebe Walker to the Open Space and Recreational Plan Committee for a one-year term.
This is all reappointments. Can I second that?
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to appoint Andrea Donlan and John Gould to the Planning Board for a three-year term.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and okay, unanimous. And lastly, a motion to appoint Mark Amstein, Carol Foote, and Wendy Switzer Ferris to the Recreation Committee for a three-year term.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous also. Thank you.
So I will report back to Alicia. She will send letters out asking all of these folks if they accept the appointment. And then they will have to come in and get sworn in. And there are still some additional appointments that still need to happen. But because some of them were either you or Larry, we have to wait for there to be a full board.
Right.
So that will probably be in July.
That's why we took off the other one. too.
Yes, so
Yeah.
that if there was any conflict of anything, we
Yeah.
could make sure we had the majority of the board could vote
Yes.
Nope.
to do that.
Excellent. So that takes care of two items. We've moved along still. And it's this, yes. Looks like we're, it should be C. Excuse me. A complaint regarding unleashed dogs at the Buckland Recreation Area. The office here has received an email from a concerned patron of the Buckland Rec area. Unleashed dogs have been becoming more a problem. Per town bylaw, the select board did vote to require that dogs be leashed at the Buckland recreational area. There is a sign that states this. Cindy would like to request additional signage. She quite often gets a lot of pushback when she attempts to enforce this. I have emailed Kyle Dragon to see if he has any additional recommendations or what steps we should take if people continue to let their dogs off leash and we have any more
And
incidents.
that's my, you read my narration of the
Yeah,
event.
but it sounded like it was me, so it doesn't matter.
What,
Okay.
so what happened? What was this incident?
So I did include the, email in your packet. There was a woman who had her dog on a leash. She was up at the rec area, walking her dog. Truck pulled in and had, I believe, 3 dogs in the truck.
Yeah,
They charged her and her dog. The dogs were not under the control of the owner. And unfortunately, we've heard this has happened more than once.
the same dogs?
No, not
Okay.
necessarily
Yeah.
the same dogs.
Yeah.
But I believe, Cindy has tried to reinforce when she sees people coming into the rec area with dogs that are either still in the car, and has an opportunity to talk to them, she makes sure she reminds them that even though the town does not have a leash law per se, the bylaw does require that at town property, if the select board has established that they must be on leash, they must be, and that area of town does have an enforcement of dogs being on a leash. There is a sign as you start walking from where the old pool used to be up to the pavilion. There is a sign, but Cindy one idea she had was maybe some more signs, bigger signs that really
could be-
alert people to that
They could be
fact.
coming out of the woods from Mohawk when they walk that way too. We should have
So
one facing
once
back.
they're on private property, of course, that's.
Right, but I'm talking about where the ball
coming
field
back.
is, if they're coming this way,
Yep.
then if we
Yep.
put one there. There should be one probably at the top, so I'm just thinking the number of
Yeah.
signs, like,
Yeah.
and then, so there's 3 there, one before you even come in, or as you're coming in the
Right,
driveway.
as you're coming
Yeah,
in,
we should have
sort of
3 or 4
some
more signs.
rules about, picking up after your dog,
Yeah,
leashing
I
your
think that's a
dog.
good idea.
While, parts of town, you need to have your dog under voice control, and a leash isn't necessarily needed if you
Right.
can control your dog in that manner. It is a little more challenging when there's a dog on a leash and another dog not on a leash, and
Yeah,
this
so
woman
there's-
felt very scared. and threatened because these dogs really went after her and her dog that was on a leash. So I did reach out to Kyle just to sort of make him aware
Yeah.
of the situation at this time. We don't have other information, but I sort of more wanted to know from him, what is the protocol if this continues to happen? And kind of go from there.
I just wonder how is it, how do you enforce it? How
Right.
do you catch the people
Well, I
who
mean,
are-
we do have staff that's up there during the year, so, you know, we can start asking names if it's happening, or
That might be a
getting
difficult
license.
situation to
Yeah.
approach someone and to say, what's
Well,
your
they may
name?
not give it to you, but that's beside the point.
Take a picture of their.
The license
We
plate,
will.
take a
Yeah,
picture.
we do have cameras up at the
Yeah.
rec area, so
Okay.
perhaps that's another way of.
I think it's a safety factor, especially with children running around up there.
Absolutely,
and
which is
everything.
why I think originally the board decided that was an area in town that there should be leashes. We have the playground, the
So,
pool.
do we have a leash law there?
It has been defined as one of the areas in town that needs, and it has a sign posted,
Okay,
which,
that was the
which
recommend-
affirms the fact that it was established as an area in Buckland, a public area, town-owned, that does have a leash protocol in place.
Well, that's good, because I was gonna make a motion that we do make one for that area, but since it's there already, we don't need to do that. Well, we need to have some extra frontage for signs. Do we have a price in them yet?
I don't yet. I can talk with Cindy. She just got some signs recently for speed on that stretch, because that was another issue.
I
People
know.
were
I
really
can't
driving
cannot
way
believe
faster than
it.
they should be with children around, and plus the dust is a problem. We need to try to keep that down. So we'll try to see what we can work with Jake and with Cindy to see. I don't believe the last signs she ordered were that expensive,
Yeah,
so.
if they're reasonable, just send us an email and to, get your, you'll get my respects that way to go ahead, so.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you.
And I will let you know if Kyle gets back to me with any
Yes.
other ideas, so.
I think that's really important, so, yeah. Yeah, okay, well, we pretty well,
Well, you got a couple more.
Pretty well
things on the
here.
agenda.
we
So
think-
I can also let you know that, we were notified that a grant that Heather had applied for a shared streets and spaces grant from Mass DOT. We did receive notice that we received it. It's for a shield radar speed display sign. I think the idea was for some of the roads like Conway Road, Conway Street, North Street, that are having
it's-
some
it's
excessive
It's just
speed.
drivable around, this is a portable one,
I
correct?
believe so,
Yes, 'cause
I
even-
believe so.
Even we have it right up on my house, up on Elm Street there.
Yep.
It's the 25-mile-an-hour speed signs, but they're, when they go by my house, and it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we don't have the paperwork yet from
Right.
Mass DOT for the contract, but I didn't know if you could maybe make a vote to authorize Clint to sign that when it comes in, so.
All
we-
right, I
Have
will
that
make a
happen?
motion
Did you
that,
say that's for, like speed detection?
It's called a shield radar speed display sign. I think I put the actual thing,
Yeah, it's
letter
on
in
here.
your packet,
okay.
I believe, Mary, so you could see
is it
it.
within our price range?
I mean, I wasn't part of this grant,
Oh, it's a
so
grant, it's a grant.
it's
Okay.
$15,000 grant, so I
excellent,
assume
okay.
that was covering the full cost of it.
Excellent,
But,
okay, then
I will have to probably.
I will
do
make a
little
motion that we have
research.
Clint sign it when he comes back, or you get to see him. What do you think?
Yeah, I second that, yeah.
Okay, we're both in favor, so
Okay,
Go get it.
perfect.
I have a question, did we get the, signs put up, the speed signs on, Conway Street?
Yes,
Oh,
they
Conway,
have
okay.
been placed.
Good, cause I had another person come up to me and I said, well, look, the signs came down during the construction, now they're coming back up.
Yep, no, Anthony let me know that they were all back up.
Excellent,
Like the
excellent.
this
next
person
day,
noticed
he
them?
did it,
This
actually.
person
She
noticed,
lives right there.
did she notice them being back?
No,
Oh,
not yet.
not yet.
It was a little while ago, so.
Okay, yeah, he went out literally the next day and put
Oh,
up the
nice.
signs.
Okay,
Nice,
well.
good.
Maybe
Yeah,
she
and
didn't
then-
notice or something.
I haven't heard anything on North Street, but I thought that was gonna be the speed.
I think I have heard from a couple neighbors
Yeah.
on North Street that it is
So
kind
many,
of,
so
kind
many
of going
people
quickly.
use that, yeah.
But I did see the, Shelburne PD was parked there one morning, a couple mornings when I went into work. It looked like they were doing some traffic control and
They were there
monitoring.
today too, very deep in the woods, so
Yeah.
you know, I was like, what vehicle is that? You know, I didn't realize it was the police.
You'll know
You
when.
would have had to pull out really fast out of that and.
Yep, yep. But it's a good reminder to people to slow it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good, okay. So we got some, are we down to documents to sign things? Or do you-
Permits
Yeah.
and licenses, looks like, yeah.
Permits and licenses and things, okay? All right, so we're down to permits and licenses. Do we have any? I think we have a parade permit, I can see there for the 4th of July. See if I can run across it that fast. No.
Did you find it? I have my copy here if you need it.
Well, I don't want to give up.
Okay, yeah. Your stalling technique.
No. Okay. Well, I don't see it here.
Kind of near the back, but that's okay. I've got one. I've got the version here if you want to.
Okay, we'll check it out. Thank
It
you.
should be
thank
in the
you.
documents to sign.
I
for.
probably have it there, didn't there?
There's a lot of material.
Okay, this is for a parade permit on the 4th of July by the Shelburne Grange. And see back of page, okay, where Stephen Finks, here street, you have all, got the chief of police is in, yep, okay, approval. The parade will line up at 11 a.m. at the old Buckland Maintenance Yard on Conway Street in Buckland. The old one. The parade will start at 12 noon and proceed down Conway Street onto Ashfield Street in Buckland, then turn right onto the Truss Bridge. The parade will proceed down Bridge Street in Shelburne and then turn left onto Main Street. The parade will travel down Main Street and then turn right onto Grove Street. The parade will end at the Buckland Shelburne Elementary School at about 12:30. Are they having a thing there like they have every year?
I don't know.
Firemen,
The chicken barbecue used to be the
Barbecue.
Scouts would do it, and then the Grange I think took it over. So I haven't heard.
We haven't heard, yeah.
No, we wouldn't approve anything like that, so.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll make a motion that we accept this parade permit.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Okay, it's,
moving along here.
well, hey, listen. This is serious business. And let's see what's next. Minutes and warrants.
Just a quick side note. I don't know if you saw the message from Mary, but the May 27th minutes aren't done yet because the footage hasn't been uploaded to Falls Cable yet for that
Okay.
meeting. So she wasn't here for that.
Yeah, I did read the minutes from the 13th.
Yeah. Okay, now the minutes and warrants. Basically, that's just something we have to sign after, correct?
Maybe.
Do we, does he have to make a motion?
Do we have to make a motion for
the
signing minutes?
And for the warrants, or do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
We do, okay.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we sign the minutes for May 13th and the 27th also?
Yeah,
No,
no,
not the 27th, just the 13th.
I'll second
Okay.
that.
All right, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. And now for the warrants, the vendor warrant 2526 and the payroll warrant 2526. I'd like to make a motion that we sign those.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye, okay, that's unanimous and done. And let's see, anything not reasonably anticipated by chair 48 hours in advance? No, I didn't know I was a chair 48 hours in advance. It's better that way. Okay. Any select board concerns?
No, no, it's funny, it's, the word concerns makes it like you're worried about something.
Right.
You know, but well, maybe, are you gonna report on the, event of the?
Yeah, I can, or you can
No,
if
you can
want.
do that, no, you can do
Okay.
that, you can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't fight you, Joan.
No, I'll probably weigh in when we
Okay,
do it.
perfect.
Okay.
We
No,
can
I
do it
don't-
together.
I don't have any concerns.
Okay, and I have no concerns, like a lot of them, but there's
Nothing for tonight, right?
About our town administrator's report.
Okay, first of all, the one-stop grant has been filed for phase 3 of the Charlemont Road reconstruction, which typically that's the Mass Works grant that we've received in the
Right.
past. So now we just wait to see if we hear something. As Joan just alluded to, we had a very successful event this past weekend at the Buckland Rec. It was the open mic,
Oh, yeah.
Bucklanders,
A lot of talent.
we have a lot of talent. I
Really?
thought that to myself more than
Singers
once as I
and
sat there.
Singers?
Musicians,
Music, yeah.
You musicians,
comedians.
We didn't have a comedian actually.
I wasn't there.
no, like Elizabeth's daughter played the trumpet, and
Nice,
there's
nice.
her son sang kind of Frank Sinatra
Yeah,
type song,
yeah.
and we had,
Yeah.
A couple
Uh,
guitar players,
yeah,
singers.
Robin Lane, she's been working with, she got a grant and worked with the seniors to create a song, and so she and Brooke and Brooke's wife Kate sang that together. It was actually a really good
It
song.
was a good song. Our very own Joan
Yeah.
read from her latest book
Yeah.
that she just had published. It was fun. It was really a good time. We also had free ice cream for everybody who came, and they had
Nice.
plenty of ice cream. The crowds weren't as, I mean, the numbers weren't as large as we would have liked, but also keeping in mind this was the first dry day we've had in some time, and I think people are probably mowing their lawn and out in their garden.
Going
And,
to rain Saturday for the 15th
Yeah,
straight week.
it's-
Well, I
it's
heard that this morning, I
crazy.
said, wow.
but I think the overall consensus was we'd really like to do something again like this in the future,
Yes.
and we very much appreciate the FERCog support through the CHIP program. That's where the grant came from to do this community event. So it was really, I think, really well received by everybody who was there.
It was nice. I wonder if we had like a midwinter.
Like a Buckland's Got Talent event.
Yeah. Do it here in the
Yeah,
town,
that could be fun.
you know.
So,
You-
yeah.
You put that out, something like this, if you put it out, like at the high school and elementary
Mm-hmm.
schools, you'd be surprised, because it gets back to their parents, or there's a
Yeah.
lot of
No,
talented young
it's,
people.
for the
around
first
here.
time doing it, I think it went really well. Definitely some areas to add if we decide to do it again. And
Yeah, I mean, Mohammed, I think it was, we had another young man play. Well, he comes down to the
Yep.
open
Yeah,
mic
he
and
was very
he
good.
came. Kitty. Yeah, it was really
Nice.
well.
It was really nice.
The quality was really good of
Yeah.
the musicians.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know how to attract more people. That was, because we did publicize it everywhere, but like you said,
For
I
the
think
first year, I
Word
mean,
of, word of
sometimes
mouth
that's
will
just,
do it if
that's
the
just
people
how
just
it-
go out and say
Yep.
they enjoyed it, so.
and then we had this council on aging.
on Thursday. You can talk about that because I wasn't there.
You didn't go to that. Well, the Council on Aging had a dinner, or, a meal there, and then the uncles, I think it was, that played music, and, it was, they had a takeout from Ozma's. They had like, baba ganoush and hummus and
Yeah.
all kinds of
Oh.
stuff, and, they're going to be doing another one in September. My suggestion is that it be publicized that it's free, because a couple of people thought they had to pay, so.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful day to do it, so.
Was this at the Buckland Rec 2 years ago?
Yeah, this was the Buckland Rec,
And it
yeah.
was sponsored by,
That one was through the
Mass-
Council on Aging Mass in Motion
oh, okay.
grant.
Yeah. That was for seniors. The other one was for.
For all ages.
All ages,
And
yeah.
that was a town event too, right? Or town sponsored?
It was sponsored by a grant received from FERCog,
Okay.
but the town.
But I mean,
It
wasn't a
was
business
for
sponsored
Buckland.
thing, yeah.
It was actually really just for Buckland
Right.
residents.
But I thought it was a great first time, so. 'cause we
Agreed.
built on it, so.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
so those were some fun things to report on. So I think you may remember, Heather probably shared with you all that they were gonna be putting a water line in down at the, where the old pavilion at Cricket Field is.
Right,
And
right.
that has been being worked on this week. Jake had told me they hope to finish it up today. I haven't talked to him to see if in fact it
Nice.
was finished up. So that will make water access available at the pavilion for, if somebody wants to have, fill a watering pot to water
Yeah,
plants or
yeah.
whatever over there.
Nice.
We're working on wrapping up all of the year-end grant reporting, final closeouts for the town finances. So in July, we'll be having our meeting with Finance Committee and then with the Select Board to do any end-of-year transfers, et cetera. There's going to be another event coming up where the community can see all of the work that's been done in the last 4 years for the MVP program, their study on the Clesson Brook watershed and all the projects that they're going to show to implement resiliency to climate change. And they're having an open house on June 28th. It's going to be happening in 2 locations that day, the Buckland Public Library as well as the Buckland Rec. There's going to be a water table demonstration, a tour of native plant species, There's gonna be refreshments, there's gonna be a lot of just information, on all of the research they've been doing and all of the outreach, et cetera, in regard to the Crescent Brook
For
watershed.
the people at home, what does MVP stand for?
Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness?
Sounds right, that sounds right.
Didn't know there'd be a pop quiz, but I think that's it. Yeah, so I think that it's gonna be great for all ages. The rain date will be the 29th, in case shockingly it rains on a Saturday.
Oh, no.
And there's definitely more info on the website. I know this morning, Allison Cornish, who works very closely with this program, she picked up some flyers, so she'll be putting those out around town, so.
Do you know
Um,
there's a parade downtown that day?
What's that parade for?
I think there will be, it's the Arms Reunion Week.
Oh.
Oh, that's right,
right.
yes.
Yeah,
All right, they asked to get that permit happened a while ago.
yeah. Yeah, but
I don't think that will affect them, though.
Well, I just didn't know, I thought you said there was something at the library.
Buckland Public
Oh,
Library,
Buckland.
Upper Buckland.
Is it
Yeah, so
Buckland?
that will all pretty much be happening
Oh,
on the
okay.
other end of
Mhm.
town, so it should be good.
Okay.
Yeah, so spread the word, Mary, to all those arms alums, if they want some activities to do.
That's a,
Probably won't.
my Aunt Joan McQuaid, you know, she's comes over and she says to my mother, Eleanor, when were you a graduate of Arms Academy? What she said, you know, so quite a while ago, you know, and like 43 or whatever it was. And she goes, well, I'll have to see if we have a table set up for you. And I said, she's the only one left. We know
No,
that for a
that's
fact. Of all the
okay.
people. No, she can't. I can't get her up there. It's too
Oh,
hard.
that's
It's
too bad.
she's doing well, but I
Yeah.
can't get her around. You know.
Yeah.
So one thing has changed where there was, you know, she still can get around the house a little bit. But hey, yeah, after all, she told me today, you know, I just wanted to sit there. She says, I am 100 years and 1 month. I said, oh, you are. I says, or 1,201 months. She smiles, so.
That's great.
I know. She told me she's gonna outlive the lady that just passed away a few years before, 116, 116.
gosh.
And I said, well, you do it alone, Mom, I'm not gonna be around.
So that's all that I have.
Good.
I don't know where our appointment
Yeah, our
is.
appointment was at 5:15, it's now almost 5:30, I think, isn't it? It's 5:26.
Let's see. And it looks like there's a select board meeting on the 24th, correct?
Yeah, there was a select board meeting on the 24th. I don't know, I mean, how much longer we should have to give.
I mean, I would have thought they would have been here ahead of
So,
the
me too,
5:15.
me too. That's why I said that, I wonder if they have forgotten, and,
Not sure.
well, let's see. Anything else anybody else want to say, or we will end this meeting? I mean, it's
Yeah.
got crazy to
I mean,
continue
it's,
on.
yeah.
Okay, with nothing else, we got some documents to sign, Joan. We'll
Right.
do
Well,
those.
we also, I think since the last meeting, we had our party for Heather too.
We did.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, we did.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was
it
nice.
was very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
And it's great to have the the pavilion up there to hold up the fence, because even if it's raining, and there are bathrooms there, or restrooms rather, so.
And there's still a few weekends available if anyone wants to reserve it. As a pitch for the Buckland Rec.
That was brought to you
How much
by,
does it cost to rent?
It depends on what day, if you're doing it on a weekday, a weekend, if you're a resident or a
it
non-resident.
was
So
$75.
all of that information is also on the
right, I
website.
said
Okay, thank you very much.
$75 during the day, during the weekday. And
It
I
depends
think
if you're a
200
nonprofit
right,
or
and I think it's
or
200 on the
individual.
weekend.
It's a whole
and,
chart.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And the $7 a person if you want to use also the swimming area, you know. if you
Yeah,
wanna pay
that
the
may have
extra.
changed a little.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
A little
yeah.
bit.
Well, we'll have to wait till the newest one comes out. so. Okay, listen, I think we have been fair enough and gracious enough. It's almost 5:30, which is waiting for 15 minutes.
Oh, wait a minute, we should ask if there's any
Oh,
public
yes.
comment.
Any public comment?
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you, Joan, for reminding me.
Thank you.
I am Dana McNay, 18 South Street, Buckland, Massachusetts. Lived here since 1995. I want to read you something, and I've read this to my children and my grandson, who will be 16 on July 2nd of this year. This is January 10th, okay, or not, June 10th. June 10th, 1967, I graduated from high school, and the very next day, I received my draft notice into the Vietnam War. All right, this I want to read. An old Cherokee told his grandson, "My son, there is a battle between two wolves inside us all. One is evil. It is anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, inferiority, lies, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth." The boy thought about it and asked, "Grandfather, which wolf wins?" The old man quietly replied, "The one you feed." Is Donald Trump and his cabinet the wolf we want to feed and to be fed by? Not by me. What is happening in this country and throughout the world, and just crazed nationalism. If any aliens, assuming they were there, ever came down and looked at us, they would look at our species and say, these species still, after all this time, are, ethnicity, okay, nationalism, racism, and yet they have all these nuclear weapons. They can knock each other off, okay, and this happened, okay. My father, okay, was in Tinian, okay, he watched the Enola Gay, okay, take off. He loaded bombs into planes that haunted him all his life. I don't know where we're going here, but, I'm at the point where I cannot see me paying taxes to the federal government, or even the town, okay? Think globally, act locally. This is terrifying, okay? What we are doing, okay, to our species, okay, is beyond my effing belief. Thank you.
Dana, thank you. I appreciate it. As you said, once again, these are only the words of just one person's opinion. We do not need to be flooded with political things of which side's right, who's the good wolf, who's the bad wolf. But we did appreciate that. And Dana's a good friend, and I know how he feels, how hard he feels. And we do thank him for that. So, okay. So I think we have to look at this right now and say we have nothing else there, correct? We've hit everything.
You've done everything.
I think we've waited. So I think it's possibly a good time to make a motion that we end tonight's session of the Buckland
Do
Select
you
Board.
have any announcements or?
Well, we have no announcements, so we've only, yeah. So, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Meeting is adjourned. Okay.
The announcements at the bottom here, Mary. So-
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they were,
Yeah.
they were mentioned
Yeah.
before.